How are your emotions? How are your feelings right now?
Look, I'm just excited to get out here one last time around Launceston and, kind of say a thank you to the people that have supported us, myself and all the other Tasmanians over the years. And I guess it's something that's going to be emotional when we get to the point, when we start the race. But now I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm sure there'll be a little bit different emotion when, the final gun fires or pin the final numbers on.
Are there days when you look back on your career? Are there days when you look back at your Giro d'Italia wins, your Milan-San Remo victory, and of course coming second to Mark Cavendish in the World Championship in 2012? 11?
Yeah. There's definitely some nice memories there from my career. If I was a 19-year-old boy again, still racing around the streets, and you said I was going to do that, then I probably wouldn't believe you. So I look back at my whole career. I'm very, very happy with what I've achieved. I'm very proud of the races I've had success in, and I'm happy to have met some of the people I've met along the way, and the people, the friends that have created from this sport. They'll last forever.
Goss, there were many highs, and there was that period in 2011 when you were virtually unbeatable, but all of a sudden, and for no particular reason that we can determine, the wheels came off. You weren't winning, you weren't enjoying podium time. What have you put your finger down to what really happened?
I don't think there's any one specific point or one specific thing, but over the last 12, 18 months, I've definitely noticed that I didn't have the same drive to get out of bed and the same motivation, and it was kind of a bit of a bad run of crashes and accidents in 2015, and then you try and get back on top, and it just kind of felt like I was chasing my tail for the last 18 months. I could never get back to full fitness before something else had happened. So there's only so many times you get down, build back up, and down and build back up before you kind of say, all right, I think I've had enough of trying to get back to that top level.
So looking back on your career, what was your highlight?
I think obviously San Remo is a pretty memorable moment. That's probably number one. But for me, close second is standing on the top step at the Tour de France in Nice when we won the team time trial with the Orica Green Edge boys. A lot of friends and teammates and mates there to stand on the top step of the podium with Tour de France. Only 20 k's from home, with family and friends down watching the race that day. So for me, that's a pretty special one as well.
Thanks for a great career. Thanks for giving us so much enjoyment.
Thanks for the support along the way. It doesn't happen without support and people getting behind us. So thank you.
Richie, 2016 is fast running out. We haven't seen you for a while. How will you look back on the year?
I think bittersweet, to be honest. I think a little bit of bad luck, but at the same time, I feel I still had a good season, and it gives me motivation going into 2017 for sure. I think from races like the Dauphiné to lose sort of second position in the last few hundred metres, to the Tour de France with the puncher and the motorbike incident and a few other things in between, it can only get better for 2017, I hope.
The puncture was a real problem at the Tour de France, but look, you finished fifth, and we highly praised you when we saw you at the Champs-Élysées. Fifth is an incredible achievement.
It's a nice result, but at the same time, the goal was the podium, and I really feel like this year it was achievable. But you can't help the rotten luck that I was dealt in the Tour.
So next year's Tour de France, how do you approach it? Do you throw everything at next year's race?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's sort of November now, and got 2 more months until the Tour Down Under, which is a big goal. I'd love to win that race, but ultimately, I really realise it now that when you're leading a team, that nothing really matters until July in the Tour de France.
Team Sky and Chris Froome, what they did this year was suffocate the race. How does BMC combat the likes of Froome and Team Sky for next year's Tour?
Yeah, look, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? They know how to win the Tour de France, and people will criticise the way that they ride. But, I mean, with that much horsepower in the team, if it's not just Chris Froome, there's enough guys that you can't give, any space to.
Richie, will you personally handpick the riders that you want around you for the Tour de France?
I'm not sure about handpicking the team, but they know the guys that I want around me, and like guys like Damiano Caruso, who were fantastic this year, and Mickey Shah, who was instrumental in helping Cadel win the Tour. We've got a fantastic team to pick from.
We're going into December. You sound very confident. You sound very motivated, very fresh. I guess it's a result of a very long off season. Am I right?
Yeah, it's just a shame I'm so unfit, but you know, it's been a long time since I raced. Sort of, you know, crashing in the Olympics. You know, it's a lot of recovery between then, but I think I'm healthier than I ever have been. And you know, it's a professional sport. You do need to have a good bit of downtime, and I feel good for that. And you know, I'm happy where I'm at, and you know, the team's got faith in me. So I'm really looking forward to 2017.
Well, I can honestly tell you that you've got the whole country behind you for next year's tour, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, I hope I give them plenty of sleepless nights come July.